See, if core competencies tell you what kind of questions you can ask, NLP will help you devise and design those questions in the flavor that client understands, in the flavor that client experiences their life as it is, because maybe they don't know core competencies, but you can reach out to them in their way of living their life. That's what it does.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are joining in from. I am Kiva from Coacharya, and it's lovely to have you all here with us today. As you all are trickling in, please do use the chat box here to share with us where you're joining in from. Okay.
Eva, am I looking at the right place? In my phone, I have no idea where to look sometimes.
Yes, I think it's perfect.
It's fine? Okay, thank you.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Okay.
Huh.
Hello, Deepa. Hi, Mark. Hello, Sanjay. Hi, Pat. I think you joined us last time as well. Good to see you. Hello, Nan.
Hi, Nan. Lovely to see you here. Hi, Wendy.
Hello,
Nan and Wendy are in my classes. Nan in my MCC class and Wendy in the advanced executive coaching.
Wonderful. Hello, Khyati. Hi, Kitty. So, as everyone is joining in, I am going to just take 2 minutes to share a few updates with you all. So, and then after that, I'm going to hand it over to Cindy and Prakash for today's webinar. So quick updates, you must have seen, we have shared emails with you about a special offer that we've got just for you all, which is a $200 discount that's running on our coaching foundation and advanced coaching courses. So do check them out, do refer to our emails, and you can also write to us at support@coacharya.com if you want to know more about these courses and how to get the discount. So hope to hear from you on that. We also have another announcement, which is regarding a free workshop that we are doing tomorrow on mindfulness practices with Tracy Brown, one of our facilitators. And it's a time when a lot of us are going through a lot of stress and burnout. So this is a good time for everyone to just pause for an hour and join in. Like I said, it's a free workshop. All you need to do is send us an email at community@coacharya.com and we'll send a Zoom invite for this free workshop tomorrow. And just one last final announcement before I hand over to Cindy. We have our Advanced Coaching Foundation course starting on 26th with Drevan. And if any of you are interested, do write to us again at the email IDs provided above, support@Coacharya and community@Coacharya. So that's it from my end, and welcome again, everyone. Good to see you all here. So Cindy, I'll now request you to please take over. All right.
Thank you, Kiva.
Thank you.
And welcome, everyone. Lovely to see so many familiar faces and looking forward to getting to know everyone else. Today we have quite an interesting topic, NLP and coaching. And our guest speaker, I think known to quite a few of you, very thought-provoking, knowledgeable, and excitable about the topic. Whenever you talk to Prakash about NLP, you always see this twinkle in his eye and you get a sense that the topic is such at ease with him, it becomes as if he's breathing the topic. Prakash, welcome to today's webinar.
Thank you, Cindy. Lovely seeing you all.
Yeah. And Prakash, how long have you been interested and studied NLP?
2009, yeah,
Oops.
it's about 13, 14 years now.
Yeah. What do you love most about it?
I never had to make notes, remember, and refer to books as I walked through the journey of NLP. Initially, I remember making a lot of notes during my practitioner and master practitioner program. And it so happened that I kept consuming it in my everyday life. So today, it almost like it's NLP is there with me. So it's a subject that I really don't feel like it's some method or technique or anything of that sort that I have to really refer to notes, looking at whether I'm doing it right or wrong, stuff like that. So it comes very easy.
Hmm. And to those of you that may not know this, Prakash recently became an MCC, and some of this ease, presence, and trust that he's talking about, I just added in some of my words there. He demonstrated for his MCC recordings, in his application for his MCC recordings. He coaches with such ease, and such presence. You will see that yourself in today's webinar. The topic is quite large, but for today's webinar, we're going to keep it narrowed down and put a spotlight on some tools and techniques. Prakash will engage you in some. And I think most importantly, type your questions, comments on the chat box. I'll keep an eye on that, and we'll also filter that and take some of your questions. Those that we cannot take right now, you are most welcome to keep in contact with Prakash. He'll give out his email address at the end of the webinar. Prakash, to start off with, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why NLP and coaching? Why should I choose NLP?
Okay. To be honest, Cindy, the core competencies that we have as part of ICF, and at least I don't have experience of other institutes, but the way we get trained in Coacharya, the way we train our coaches in Coacharya, the core competencies itself is fantastic. I mean, if someone really follows the book, you just go by the rules, everything falls in place. So the question is, why NLP? It just adds that extra magic to it. You can notice finer details as to what your client is talking to you. So maybe the way your client rolls the eyes. Yeah. So if I ask you, do you remember who is the tallest in your family?
I don't.
Who is the loudest in your family?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So did you see that your eyes are going here and there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the tallest I had to remember, loudest. Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Did you see? Okay, for all of you on the webinar, did you see Cindy doing
No
the
experiments on me.
tallest and she looks left? So, your visual recall is here. So if my client is speaking and looking left up, I know my client is referring to something from the past. So I can place my question there. So if you are not feeling okay, and if you want to pep yourself up, what is that one line you talk to yourself? Say it to yourself now.
Should I say it to myself, or is for everyone?
You've already told to yourself. So did you see that Cindy was saying down, right?
Right, Prakash, I'm going to have to I'm going to go off video.
So this is
My face is going to give me away the whole of today's webinar.
so as you are speaking with your client, and if somebody is looking down, either your client is feeling something,
Yeah.
or your client is talking something to themselves. It's called internal dialogue or feeling. So this is where it is. And this is for 99% of the people. There are some ambidextrous or left-handed people. Very rarely you will see that it is opposite. So visual recall is here and the visual construct is here and stuff like that. But almost every time, that's why it's not about judging someone or labeling someone. It's about calibrating people. Notice initially, how your client is showing up, and then check. Cindy, I see that you are saying something to yourself.
Mm.
You can check. Or are you feeling something? What are you experiencing right now? Is something that you can ask when you see there. So these are minute things that you can notice. So what does NLP do is, it's like running your own super specialty lab, which has got X-ray, MRI, blood reports, all of that. So it's a diagnostic tool within coaching, because your core competencies will do all the job for you. You don't have to go beyond that. NLP is an additional lens, so you can see it more clearer. You can see it.
But it sounds quite powerful, Prakash, from what you're saying. Because you are viewing or noticing or curious about little pieces like the high movement, whether it's up, down, sideways, and which I would say is a more specialized technique. I mean, you gotta really build your skill sets and then notice a bit more. As you're saying, it's a bit more, right?
Yeah.
So I see that sounds like a real value there in the way we interact with clients, the work of the client, and how much we go to the internal of the client. That's showing up like a value add or a benefit in NLP.
Yeah. So
what else?
Sure. As I told you, with core competencies, this is what used to happen to me. I'm sure some of the coaches on the webinar will agree with me. When I used to do my level 1 course, back then it was called Foundation Program. So when the client is speaking, I would prepare my next question. What is that you want to take away in today's session? So client is speaking. Now I know what to ask. What makes it important for you? So, there is a template that is running in my mind, because there is this guide, which is core competencies, which is allowing me to seamlessly go and maneuver the client, which is fantastic. Now, imagine if you also had another toolkit where you're noticing the client, be in that moment, and magnify what client is telling for you automatically, and then delayer what client is sensing, feeling, sharing as it is. If somebody is speaking, telling, what, I can't manage time, I can't do this, I can't do this. At the logical levels of change, somebody is speaking from the capability perspective. So, hey, Cindy, I hear that you are telling me you can't do this, you can't do that. I hear a lot of I can't. Who are you when you say you can't? So from a logical level, you're moving the client up in the pyramid from capabilities to identity. Because logical levels have got environment, behavior, and capabilities at the bottom of the pyramid, which is visible. That's what we try to change. It's like, from tomorrow I'll get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. From tomorrow I will do this. From tomorrow I will do that. It's all about doing. So your environment, your behaviors, and your capabilities are at the doing level. Your values, purpose, and identity are at the being level. unless the being changes, the doing doesn't change. So it's like, I don't like my office, I hate when, people walk around me. I can't stand my boss. It's all about environment.
And that's a very significant part of coaching right now, because lots more people are becoming very aware of their identity, their purpose, their value, and how do they want to bring all that into multi-levels of things they do, like their work, their social environments. It's just a more consciousness. It's a more an open, spoken about consciousness that's happening at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that people are speaking about me time itself is the identity level. People today speak a lot about me time. So, you're rightly putting it across that, people are becoming aware of their identities. And, people speak about freedom as a value. People speak about creativity or, making a difference as a value and belief in whatever they do. So in the coaching conversation, the more you unpack the being level, which is values, identities, and purpose, the more you are helping the client design their own doings.
Well, that's a lovely word, design. Because that comes with a lot of thought-provokingness, looking at different options, and then they get to design exactly what they want. And of course, to that word is a lot of accountability and responsibility, and this inspiration place where I show up is important.
Yeah.
I have a sense you have some tools and techniques to share with us. So,
okay,
please go ahead.
So for people who already know a little bit of NLP, and people are curious about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming is the process of unpacking the unconscious. Neuro is how you think, and linguistic is the language that you speak, or rather, representation of your experience, and programming is the patterns that we have. Yeah. Now, NLP has many tools which John Grinder and Richard Bandler originated, or they kind of formulated, and there are a lot of tools that came into NLP fold over a period of time. That means a lot of practitioners said, "Oh, this tool is fantastic, so we will start using it." So initially they started using it. Today it almost feels like it was part of NLP from 1968 or so. So, which is not the case. There are a lot of tools which NLP doesn't own, but it has now become part of NLP, or at least it is spoken in the same breath of NLP. One of them is like David Crew's clean language. These are just 9 questions. So if someone's, if there is a client speaking and we have this client queue 5.4, I think. Sorry, I'm saying numbers, in front of Cindy, which I should not be doing, but client is showing curiosity. Client is, being, the coach is being curious. Now, very simple way of doing it, after client has shared everything, simply saying, what else? So David Grew was a doctor who treated patients with medical ailments with 9 questions, not medicines. And simply saying, and you will see client has got more to speak. Or, saying, what happens after that? So if someone says, I get angry, okay, so what happens after that? So what happens before that? Anger like what? It's a metaphor question. I feel furious when I listen to people, who are indisciplined. Furious like what?
That's a lovely distinction, because you're kind of narrowing it down, right? So instead of somebody going, I'm furious, I'm furious, I'm furious, when you help them to narrow it down, attached to what?
Yeah.
Then it becomes more managed and in control.
Yeah.
Powerful. I love that.
Yeah. So, by simply saying many a times, in our NLP, even in our coaching sessions, we speak that you need to work on metaphors with clients, because metaphors are very powerful, because it is anchored to their being. Yeah. Now, easiest way to ask is, if you notice a client speaking about, I feel stuck in my career. Stuck like what? Someone might be stuck in a jail, someone might be stuck in a cage, somebody might be stuck on a tree, somebody might be stuck in an abandoned ship. And when they say that, you can kind of use submodalities, one of the other techniques which is very powerful in conversational coaching, is when people say that I'm stuck in a cage. And as a coach, you can continue saying that, what kind of cage it is. Because the more you define that cage, the more you're helping the client to find the keys and get out of that cage.
Mhm.
What is that cage made of? What color is it? What metal it is? How big is it? Where are you standing in that cage right now? What do you see on the left? What do you see on the right? What do you see on the top? Where is the door for this cage?
And as you talk, I'm getting a sense that, is this your cage or whose cage is this?
Yeah, who built this cage?
Yeah.
And sometimes capability question, asking the client, Cindy, are you ready and capable to come out of this cage right now? And why would a client say no?
True.
And if they say yes, ask them, how do you want to do that? Somebody wants to break the cage, somebody wants to burn the cage, somebody wants to simply say, I'll do this and the cage vanishes. Anything is fantastic.
Yes.
And when the metaphor has changed, the experience has changed. That's what I spoke about, minute details with NLP. It is zoom in activity. You have core competencies to zoom out. You're using NLP.
Because as you said earlier, and I'm just connecting some dots here, the metaphor is at the being level.
Yeah. So one of the other techniques of NLP is also visual imagery, or visualization. I'm sure many of you would have seen this in YouTube, or heard that sports people use that, because visualization is future pacing, or sometimes you go back to the past and change something in the past. A lot of times it is used for future pacing in a way that somebody has got let's say you have a client who is a little scared of stage, public speaking. It's a normal thing that we get clients for. And this person is telling, I need to have more confidence. So you're working with that person. And visualization as a technique is so powerful. Imagine somebody has got a public speaking, or some presentation that has to be done on 10th of March. Future pace that person to 10th of March. We have this technique called pacing the current experience. As you're listening to my voice and paying attention to your breathing, you're feeling more relaxed and relaxed and relaxed. Feel the sound of the AC, feel the sound of all the external noises. Bring that person to the current, and then help that person transport to 10th of March, and then get into submodalities, telling how is the stage looking, how many people are there, who do you see in the front row, Where do you see the speakers? Which laptop are you using? Get into as many details as possible. And then, because that person has lived that presentation already in the head, on 10th of March, it is replay. And we all know, we have watched a lot of sports. In the replay, no team loses that has already won in the live match. So you help your client win in the head, in the visualization. Right now, there is no way that your client can lose in the replay because it is just replay. Now you can do that visualization every day, every single day before 10th March. So you have played it 100 times before the actual thing happens. So you have sensed everything. You have felt the stage. Maybe you have also rehearsed and recited some of the lines that you want to speak in the presentation. Everything is already done. So visualization is so powerful. I remember, during my NLP master practitioner days, we used to get some live clients to work with. So one of the girl was a wall climber. It's a sport, artificial wall climber holding boulders. So this girl, wall climbing is like this. You go on the wall, there is a hanger, and then you go up, tap, and then come down. Yeah. So she is on belay, she goes in the hanger. She was just 12, 13 years old. She used to get stuck in the hanger because it is almost parallel to the ground. And she used to come down. After that, we were talking to her as to what has happened to you there. She said, I don't know. So 6 or 7 days later, she came. She started climbing the wall. She went through the hanger like crazy. She went on top, tapped, came down. She said, belay. In climbing language, if somebody says belay, that means I'm ready to climb. So she said belay again. She went again, tapped again, came back. I was curious. I asked her, no, how did this happen? She said, I was sleeping in my room. I saw a lizard on the ceiling. I said, lizard can walk on the ceiling without falling down. So whenever I go to hanger, I am lizard now. So whenever I go to the hanger, I visualize I'm lizard now. So very powerful metaphor. She is becoming lizard, visualizing and becoming lizard whenever she gets to hanger. So there is no way that she can fall. Only Prakash can fall, lizard can fall. It's as easy as that. Swimmers do it a lot of times. They visualize being dolphins. Sports people visualize being some beast and monsters and stuff like that when they come. So it kind of, visualization is a great technique that NLP offers. And it can be used in, or guided meditation is visualization. So sometimes, you get this YouTube videos where guided meditations are there. It's visualization.
It's in those simple words. If you believe it, then you see it happening. And you then of course, to repeat the word, you believe you can do it and you continue it. Yeah. I love what you're saying. You explained it in such a simple way, with so much of power in the action of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So another thing, Siddhi, is that it is the difference that makes the difference. In coaching, it's not about the content of what the client is telling. It's about how they are saying it. And it is the minute difference. Sometimes we say, one of the core competencies says noticing about the energy shift and tone difference and all of that. And it need not be very drastic, very minute differences. I still remember, I don't know if I have the link, I'll definitely share it with Kiva, and Kiva can share it with all the participants here. Andre Agassi goes on YouTube after he retires, how he used to play one opponent, and every time he wins. every time the opponent used to come very close to winning Andre Agassi, and Andre Agassi used to almost every time win. Yeah, it was Boris Becker. Thanks, Magdat. And the reason is Boris Becker used to make this grub before he plays the shot. And if he does that, he knows what he is doing. He used to just notice the sound. And every time he makes the sound, he used to guess what Boris Becker is doing. And he revealed it after he got retired. So it's so lovely to see how sports people use noticing small little things with their opponents and win over them. That's the edge that you've got. Otherwise, tennis as a game has got a lot of techniques. Your forehand, your backhand, you can do a lot of things. But then there is a professional player who is paying attention to small cues that the opponent is giving. So it's the difference that makes the difference, noticing very small little things from the client.
So in MCC, you know this, right? Because many times you heard my language around, we're almost at the end now. It's just about making small tweaks.
Yeah.
And only you can do that to the coach. Only you can make those tweaks for yourself if you pay attention to it and figure out for yourself what are those tweaks. I love the sense of responsibility and accountability that sits with that. It's not spoken, it's the unspoken part of it, right? All you're doing is making small tweaks, but the practice of it has so much more attached. Maybe just we'll check in with our participants. Do you have any questions or anything that you'd like Prakash to explain more on? Any comments you want to make? Also, feel free to just load it into the chat.
I see that there are a few questions. Kiva, is it okay if I take the Q&A now?
Yes, please,
Yes.
Prakash.
If while the client is sharing with you are already thinking about the next question, am I not missing to be present with the client with my preoccupation with the question? Absolutely, Shanti. If I'm already thinking about the next question, I am not in the moment. And I am guilty of doing it when I started coaching, and I confess that. It used to happen. I don't know for how many of you happen. It used to happen to me. Is there anything the coach should do to make the client play the winning shots in the replay and not play the lofted shots to get caught? Thanks for that question, Program. That's what is called anchoring. So you kind of anchor the client to something very powerful, something very resourceful as you do the visualization. In fact, a little advanced technique of visualization is called new behavior generator. It's a step-by-step process as to how you put client to a future action that client wants to take. It's like somebody who's not very confident driving the car. Even before you get inside the car, you do this new behavior generator a lot of times with the client and anchor. Maybe somebody is low on confidence. Somebody can be claustrophobic. I don't like small places even today. I don't even like small lifts. I somehow don't like all small places at all. Even as I speak, I'm not comfortable. So when I started driving the car, more than the skill or traffic or the fear of hitting someone or me getting hit, I did not like the smallness of the car. So if you are working on anything of that sort, you kind of do this new behavior generator to anchor that person to something more resourceful, something more useful. Yeah. And you anchor it so much that in the replay, there is a good chance that that person replace the anchor also, so that it is very powerful for them. So I remember, when I was doing my practitioner program, my coach worked with me because I was the demo baby there. So I did bring up this problem, telling why I don't have a car, because I don't like small spaces. A bike would tell me that, whole world is mine, everything is open, but a car put me inside. So, and then, the reason why I should have a car was like, I was getting married, and, I was anchoring that, my wife is sitting next to me, and we are going for a long drive, and I'm really liking it. We are listening to music. So that overpowered my uneasiness about small spaces. So over a period of time, working on it, that I'm enjoying the drive, the music, the companion, that overpowered my uneasiness of smallness. That does not mean it has worked in every area of life. I still don't like very small spaces, but that is not true for car anymore. So that's what, that's how you can, actually help client win in the replace. Program, hope I've answered your question. But how do you start believing? Yes, or did I miss anything? In case a person is unable to imagine, visualize their future self for some reason, is there any way NLP to help them get out of the block? Some people are not very visual in nature. It's quite natural. It's not a block. It's how they operate. Somebody are very auditory in nature. They would like to speak. They would like to listen. Or someone can be very kinesthetic. Somebody want to feel and do things. Yeah. So noticing how client operates, because not able to visualize the future is the representation issue. If I don't see anything for my future, and just because there is a session, I can't make up anything. If I have one, and if visualization is not happening, that means I operate differently. For instance, it's very difficult for me to put images in my head. I'm very kinesthetic, so I can feel a lot. So as a coach, you can ask a lot of feeling questions rather than asking, can you see this? Can you ask me, telling, just feel this, experience this. How is the temperature on your body? Which hand is heavier? Which leg is heavier? Can you sense the breeze around your head and neck? The whole thing is becoming cooler. So, a kinesthetic person can actually do that rather than asking for a person to only visualize. Can you see this and can you see that? Yeah.
Yeah, I like that it includes different people's learning styles and the way they relate to things. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I want to check with you, Prakash. Is there an exercise that you want to engage everybody in, considering the amount of time we have left, or do a slides, or show some slides or anything?
I can't see all the participants. Is it only for me?
No, you won't be able to see them, but you can guide. You can do some guiding if you want. Yeah.
Okay. So let me just. Okay, we'll do a 30 seconds quick activity.
Okay, let's go for it.
All right. Just look at this picture and just remember what all you can remember. And your 30 seconds starts now. So what do you see?
lots. People found lots, right, Prakash?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I have a next question. What do you think is happening here? A chaos. Another chaos. Making a movie. It's a film set, theater play, construction, unpacking, film studio, shop clearance. I love that. Getting ready for something to happen. Life. Wow. Dream. Okay. You cannot see this slide. Oh, interesting. The kid is seeing the place. Okay. Okay. See it again, and this time keep typing it out as to what you did not see before and what you're seeing now. Just put it on the chat. What you did not notice before and something that you are able to notice now.
Butterfly.
Okay. Brilliant. Now, every time, maybe after 5 minutes, maybe you can take a screenshot of this, see it after 5 minutes. Trust me, you'll see more. Trust me, you'll see more, because everything that we see, hear, and do and feel, the first thing that happens to the information is it gets deleted. Generally, when you look at anything, the amount of information that hits our nervous system is close to 2 million bits per second. And what we retain is 7 plus or minus 2 bits per second. What happens to other things is everything gets deleted. So deletion is the first process. That's how we process neurologically. And then becomes generalization. Somebody said there is a dead body. It's easy. I saw 2 legs from the cart, and if I say dead body, my job is done. It's easy. Yeah, because generalization is, it gives me speed. It gives me speed. Parrots are green. Are there parrots which are not green? Probably, I don't know, but it's easy for me to say parrots are green. It makes, it gives me speed. And distortion is what you just answered. It's a film set, it's unpacking, it's chaos. It's the meaning that we associate to anything that's happening around us. So we delete to focus, we generalize to speed, and we distort to create meanings. And the neurological process gives us the behavioral output. So input is coming from visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory through all the 5 senses. And we process it by generalization, deletion, and distortion, and then give our behavioral response. So how many of you here, if somebody is bleeding profusely, You can't stand it, you get scared. Say yes. How many of you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the same thing for a doctor is very different. So what can scare me is very different for a doctor. Doctor starts thinking, what is the best treatment that I can give to this patient? And maybe, at least for me, I'll be thinking, what do I do with this person right now? Same thing, doctor also is thinking, what do I do with this person right now? He's thinking medicine, I'm thinking chaos. So the distortion is the meaning that we create, and that's the behavioral response. So I see something, sorry, I see something, I hear something, I feel something, and I process it neurologically to create my behavioral response.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
That's very interesting, Prakash. So we delete the things that don't make sense to us, adds no meaning. And we remember what makes more sense to us and has meaning. Is that it? By process of deletion, as you're saying.
yeah. So we can delete something that is useful for us, which
Yeah.
is called unhealthy deletion. So let's say if I have a small fight with someone, I have deleted all the goodness in that person and I've only magnified that fight, that moment, that tone, that one word. How dare you call me this? The whole experience of life is deleted. That one word, you called me this.
Yeah.
Maybe we are friends for 20 years. We have been friends and buddies for 20 years, for all good and bad. One word. What is left behind after deletion is focus, and what you focus magnifies. And energy flows where the focus goes. Energy flows where the focus goes. If I focus on something bad, that magnifies. If I focus on something good, it magnifies. So in a way, neurologically or unconsciously, I'm choosing what to focus on. So as a coach, you can help your client shift the focus, maneuver them to see the right things for themselves. Because when you change what you focus, your life experience changes. When you change the meaning, your life experience changes. When you change what you generalize, life experience changes. Yeah. And Pat said, just say that again. So I'm repeating. I said, you receive all the information by all the 5 senses. And unconsciously, neurologically, you process it by the process of deletion, generalization, and distortion. By deletion, you are bringing focus. By generalization, you bring speed. And by distortion, you create a meaning for yourself, distinctive meaning for yourself. And that neurological process creates the behavioral response for you.
I love the part where you said, where you give energy, that will be the focus.
Yeah.
Whether it's a negative or a positive emotion. But if you put all your energy in that, that's all you're going to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In that case scenario of the friend, because we give energy to that one word that person called you, then we kind of deleted 20 years and we gave focus just to the one moment.
Yeah. And especially in relationships, what you magnify creates the experience.
That's very powerful, Prakash, because in coaching, it'll give you the tool on how to ask some questions and how to partner with the client then to see where they would like to put the energy and what opportunities now lies there for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. See, if core competencies tell you what kind of questions you can ask, NLP will help you devise and design those questions in the flavor that client understands, in the flavor that client experiences their life as it is, because maybe they don't know core competencies, but you can reach out to them in their way of living their life. That's what it does. Okay, so someone has asked a question: how do we coach someone who speaks continuously and does not pause for either reflection or even question? Oh, that's a wonderful. Oh, that client is good. I mean, it's it's like holding the mirror to them. What's making you speaking so much? I see you speak so much. It's wonderful.
Or you invite a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Invite the client into the silence.
Yeah.
Or the reflective moment.
Yeah. Or sometimes be amused to see how the client is speaking. Let them go on. Maybe they speak the problem, they speak the process, they speak the solution, and they even close the session for you. See, as a coach.
But that's good. That's good for the client, right? They offloaded it.
See, as a coach, one of the things that I've realized in the recent times is it does not matter what I do. What matters for me is what happens to the client. It's okay if I've not done some process. It's okay if I've not asked some question. If without question, if client is answering something beautiful. So I'm not getting anxious that, oh my God, 9.1 is gone, 9.2 is gone, 8.2 is gone. It's okay. It's okay. But fact is, if somebody is going on and on, something is going on and on within them. And that is something that coach should appreciate and partner with the client to see what is going on and on within them. Prakash,
Prakash, I see lots of curiosity here and some questions. And just in case we don't get enough time in the next few minutes, please would you type your email onto the chat box in case people want to reach out to you. Sure. And coaches, if you want to learn more, Prakash is doing a program coming up soon. You can, okay, I can give you the details. I'm not sure when. Do you remember when, Prakash? It's in March, right?
March 18th. March 18th.
Okay. So Prakash has got a foundation program for coaches. He's also got a learning program, meaning you can just come and learn some tools and techniques. It's a short program, I think 4 weeks.
Yeah.
There was a thought sitting with me while you were talking. And while you were explaining some of the tools and techniques, I was thinking to myself, the power of silence and reflection shows up in almost everything that you've offered. Because it's a slowing down. When you pay attention to something, there's such a slowing down that happens. Absolutely. Like how I'm previously thinking about something or currently something, in order for me to think about it in a different way, no matter what the trigger, whether it's the lizard or what it is, but I need to slow myself down to give myself enough time to think of the new.
Yeah.
I could imagine that example in the quietness of the night, noticing the lizard on the wall, and you connecting some dots for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Raghuram is asking, can we stop, please? Kiva, is there a way participants can speak?
No, I'm so sorry. In the webinar, they'll only be able to chat with us.
Chatting is boring. Sorry, Raghuram. We will talk.
Yeah, you got Prakash's number. Feel free to reach out to him.
Yeah.
He's always so flexible and open to talking to anybody. Prakash, in 4 minutes, what more do you want to share? I don't want to direct a question here. I'll just leave it with you. What more do you want to share?
Cindy, for me, 13, 14 years of training and, training and NLP came to me together. I started my training journey and I also started my NLP journey probably 6 months later. And I'm very fortunate that somebody introduced me to NLP. And last 4 years, I'm also, coaching. What I'm realizing is all that, so-called magic tricks that we used to think in NLP is coming so handy in coaching right now. I can't thank the person who introduced me to NLP back then, because back then there was no agenda. I just joined because somebody called me. I never thought one day I will train people on NLP or certify people on NLP. I never thought. So what started as a friendly gesture because a friend invited me, and practitioner to master practitioner, we went as buddies back to back, 2011, 2013. Then somebody said, Sunite is coming from UK. Why don't you do trainer programs? So back then I was not a consultant. I was not having my own practice, nothing at all. So whatever I did back then is coming so handy now. Only after I got into coaching, I realized the power of NLP. Otherwise, for me, it was pure science that I could train people, certify people on. I never knew that it is so powerful in the space of coaching. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're quite evolved. I come to know quite a lot about you in the last year or so. You're very evolved in the way you take a subject matter, own it, and able to pass it along. The transfer of what you know to others. It's a beautiful process. Your language is also so simple. It's very easy to follow. Coaches, we have participants. We have reached the end of our time. I hope the session was of value for you. There's so much more, we didn't even go into perceptual positioning, which is a very powerful tool in NLP. And I've seen Prakash demonstrate that tool really beautifully done. But it takes some time, which is why we didn't use it today. But feel free to reach out to Prakash if you want to know more. And as I said, he's got a short program just for learning purposes. It's quite a reasonably priced program if you want to learn with Prakash. We can tell you about it or Kiva will. You will get a recording of this webinar, so do not worry, you will have that. And we'll see you all next month. Prakash, you can close.
Thank you all. I'd love to connect with each one of you if you are interested. Kiva can share the email ID, and you have the recording as well. Thank you.
You do that. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Prakash.
Thank you so much, Kiva. Bye-bye.
Have a lovely evening. Take care, everyone.